Let's start with a question. Why are the world's two superpowers, the US and China, so fixated on Iran? You might think missiles and bombs, but the real story is economic. Iran's resources and market have become the silent battleground between Washington and Beijing. This war isn't in the Gulf, it's in oil contracts, mines, and the Silk Road. Let's look at the numbers. China buys nearly 90% of Iran's oil. As of October 2025, it imported $14.5 billion in goods from Iran, Yahoo Finance 2026. That makes Iran China's top energy partner in the Middle East. China imports 10 million barrels daily. Iran supplies about 13% of that. But it's not just oil. Iran sits on mineral reserves worth over $27 trillion, Tehran Times 2026. It has the world's largest zinc reserves, second largest copper, and top 10 iron ore. For an industrial powerhouse like China, this is a strategic treasure. On January 12, 2026, Trump announced a 25% tariff on any country doing business with Iran, S&P Global 2026. The move targets Tehran but hits China directly. If China trades with Iran, its goods get 25% more expensive in the U.S. China exported over $400 billion in goods to the U.S. in 2025, Iran International 2026. A 25% tariff could slash that by half. China can't ignore this. China has leverage. First, rare earth elements. 90% of these materials, essential for U.S. electronics and defense, come from China. Geopolitics News 2026. Second, Boeing. China is negotiating to buy 500 aircraft. It can cancel or switch to Airbus. This isn't theory. In May 2025, Ford temporarily shut its Chicago plant due to a rare earth magnet shortage from China. Geopolitics News 2026. China can cripple U.S. auto manufacturing with one decision. Breaking. Trump and Netanyahu agreed at the White House to apply maximum pressure on Iran's oil sales to China. Arab News, February 2026. Less oil means less revenue for Iran, a weaker economy. There's a special group in China, teapot refineries, Up Media 2026. These private refineries buy 20% of China's oil. They're the only buyers of Iranian oil. Now they face a dilemma: cheap Iranian oil with U.S. tariffs or more expensive oil from elsewhere. February 2026 data shows Chinese imports of Iranian oil dropped by 115,000 to 220,000 barrels per day. Iran International, Feb 2026. China bought more from Russia instead. The tariff threat is working. Iran is now offering $10 to $11 per barrel discounts, 16% below benchmark, to compete. Iran International, Feb 2026. But Chinese buyers prioritize stability over price. Iran is under war threat. Russia isn't. China chooses Russia. Analysts at the Klingendahl Institute say China has three goals. New Age BD 2026. It uses Iran as leverage against the U.S., replaces European firms in Iran, and gains bargaining power on oil prices. Analysts at Fudan University predict China wants to shift Iranian oil trade from dollars to yuan. New Age BD 2026. That would end dollar dominance in energy trade, what the U.S. fears most. Why can't Iran tap its mineral wealth? Sanctions. Foreign companies with advanced tech can't operate there. Deep mining requires technology Iran doesn't have. Tehran Times 2026. Iran's mining organization, IMRDIO, has a 6-year plan, 2026 to 2031, invest $1 billion in mineral exploration. Tehran Times 2026. They hope to find 2 world-class deposits worth $30 billion.
Breaking from the Financial Times, Iran is offering to open its oil, gas, and mining sectors to U.S. companies, Kataib, Feb 2026, a commercial bonanza for Trump. Iran is trying to avert war with economic incentives, but a senior U.S. official told the Financial Times that Washington hasn't received any formal offer. Trump's position is clear: Iran cannot have nukes. Iraq is also trapped. It exports $10 billion to China and depends on Iranian gas, Yerepuni News 2026. Under U.S. pressure, it suspended gas imports and lost 30 to 40% of its power. The UAE imports $7.5 billion from Iran, but just signed a $51 billion Boeing deal, Yerepuni News 2026. They can't cancel, they'd switch to Airbus, caught in the middle. Turkey, a NATO member, does $7.3 billion in trade with Iran and is negotiating Boeing purchases, Yerepuni News 2026. Erdogan wanted 75 Boeing 787s. Now, with tariffs, he may have to rethink. India invested $370 million in Iran's Chabahar port, Yerepuni News 2026. It's vital for accessing Afghanistan and Central Asia without going through Pakistan. India is seeking a middle path with the U.S. Russia officially trades $1.2 billion with Iran, but it's more. Yerepuni News 2026. Putin doesn't care about U.S. tariffs. Russia is already sanctioned. Iran's economy is under pressure. Inflation over 40%. IMF projects 1.1% growth. World Bank minus 1.5%. DW 2026. Food inflation around 70%. Purchasing power is collapsing. The Iranian rial on the black market is over 1.4 million to the dollar. Juheng.com 2026. People are fleeing to crypto like USDT. Total loss of confidence. Geopolitical analysts call Iran a golden mosaic on the world map. It sits at the crossroads of three major regions: the Middle East, Central Asia, and South Asia. With $27 trillion in mineral wealth, the world's second-largest gas reserves, and access to open waters, it's a strategic prize no one can ignore. A geopolitical analyst once said, "Whoever controls this golden mosaic wins the big game." That's why Iran is under so much pressure. The U.S. wants to stop China from buying cheap Iranian oil, Yerepuni News 2026. On the flip side, if Iran pivots west, $27 trillion in mineral wealth and an 85 million person market fall into European and American laps, a prize too big to lose. Academic research confirms Iran's foreign policy has shifted from neither east nor west to a look-east strategy. Iran, China, and Russia are forming a counter-hegemonic axis challenging U.S. dominance. In this eastern axis, Iran's resources make it a crucial balancing weight. Looking from above, all of this, Iran's missile tests, Trump's tariffs, maximum pressure, China's retreat, are pieces of a much larger puzzle. It's the war for 21st century supremacy, the U.S. versus China. And Iran, because of its golden mosaic, is sitting at the center of this battlefield. In this game, Iran isn't just a player, it's the prize. Whoever holds Iran holds the winning card. Final conclusion: what we're witnessing in Iran and the Middle East isn't a local conflict, it's a proxy war between two giants. It's not about who rules in Tehran, it's about who will shape the future of global energy, world trade, and the international financial system. The winner of this game will build the world order for the next 50 years. And Iran, because of its resources and location, is the most important piece on this chessboard.